family. Is Sunsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, led from within. So with me today, I'm with Amanda Murray. How are you, Amanda?
Doing really good. It's nice and early and sunny here.
It's a sunny day today. Here is the afternoon. So the topic today is how to fall madly in love with your life. Are you ready to fall madly in love with your life? So in this video, we are going to explore practical tips and mindset shifts that can help you discover joy, purpose, passion in your everyday routine. From embracing gratitude, setting meaningful goals, to nurturing self-love, and building fulfilling habits. And this guide is your invitation to start living intentionally and vibrant. So whether you are seeking a fresh perspective or a totally life reset, so this video is your first step towards creating a life you truly adore. Amanda, what do you think about the topic?
I think it's a great topic because I think sometimes we get stuck in these routines, and sometimes people just are hating on their life, and they actually just forget that we have opportunities to love our life right now. So many people are searching for something in the future, and really it's about learning to be in this present moment and notice the things that are around you that you love even in your darkest moments. And so I think that sometimes we are always searching for the future, and we forget to be happy right now, right? We're like, I'll be happy as soon as I get this. And then you get that and you're still not happy. And then it's like, I'll be happy when I get this. And you get that and you're still not happy. And so it's really learning to fall in love with the moments, right? And I even look back on time with my daughter. She's 14 now, and I look at some of the days that were so hard raising a toddler on my own, and because I got divorced when she was 2. And I look back and I'm like, some of those moments are just the most precious things, and you're like, you don't want to wish that time away, because when they're bigger you'll wish you had that time back. And my daughter always asks me when's the best time? Do you wish I was littler again? And I always say no. Every time of your life, every stage of a child growing up has its really hard things and its really great things. And every part, every single stage of growing up has its really hard things and its really great things. And so I think when we begin to look at it like that, and we have these conscious choices that we can make, that we can really begin to fall madly in love with our lives, because it is a conscious choice. And I could have been completely unhappy as a single mom with a toddler trying to finish my master's and working full time. Or I could choose to be like, this is a stage. There's really great things that are going on in my life right now, and I'll miss these things later on in life, right? And I think sometimes we forget to just be happy in the moment. And even right now, of course, there's other things that I would love to have in my life, which would make me, I think, feel more fulfilled, maybe, or maybe not, because if I get them, I might feel less fulfilled. But it's just really learning how to be happy right now, right? And I'd love to have a relationship with a really great person, but that's not in the cards right at this exact moment. But when it does happen, I'll maybe be ready for it, right? And so I've just been really focusing on falling in love with who I am in the current moment, so that I will vibrate and attract a really great person who falls in love with me and also can build a really amazing life together. And so when I think about that, I think how, especially if you're one of those people who is I really want a relationship, I want the person, and you're serial dating or something. What if you just took a step back and spent a year falling in love with your life falling in love with yourself, how would that shift things? And then what type of person would you attract when you really truly love who you are? That's where my brain went when we when I saw the topic this morning when I got up, which is still morning here.
Um, I like it, Amanda, when you say we pile ourselves with the responsibilities after responsibilities, always searching for the future, not really living in the present moment. I think it's really, really important to to plan for the future, but to truly, truly enjoy also the present moment, understanding the power of gratitude with start with a pause, acknowledge where you are right now. It's really, really important. And then you start with the shift to focus on what is missing to what's like instead of shifts your focus from what's missing. Just think about the meaning of life, like what's meaningful into your life right now. And daily gratitude journaling, three things every day that you are grateful of, big or small. And then rewire your brain for joy and contentment. I think that is really, really, really important. Even yesterday, we were talking about this. Kamal was saying, like what you said, Amanda, that we live a life where everything is got to be responsibilities, and we truly start neglecting who we are. And before you know it, time is gone. Like you were saying with your daughter, that time is like my daughter, she's 18. She's gone to Greece today for 8 days with her friends. She no longer needing parents. She's living a life for herself. She's building a future for herself. So I think it's really, really important for us to live in the plan for the future and live in the present moment as well. Just live that life like Amanda. She's having a big cup of tea. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts, Amanda?
Well, I think that like we've talked about like gratitude journaling a whole bunch of times since I've been coming on the talk show. And I think one of the things is I always go through phases where I'm like madly journaling every single day for like an entire year, and then I fall off and I quit doing it for a bit, and then something will happen to trigger me into being like, oh, I need to do this again. And I'll start journaling again. And it really is like, some of it's about consistency. Some of it's about like using it as a tool when you're struggling to like really see those parts of your life that are really great. Like even on your darkest days, I'm sure there's things that you can look back on and be like, okay, this was still really great in my life today. I'm really grateful for this. Like even this morning, I was like curled up in bed and I was like, oh, I love my bed so much. I don't want to get up like this. I'm so grateful for like my sheets and my blankets and I have a king size bed. It's just all to myself. And like, so my like king size bed and just having like waking up early. Like I woke up at 5 a.m. without the alarm even this morning. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna have a great shower. And last night before I went to bed, because usually I shower before bed, but I wanted to like blow dry my hair and it not be all messy or whatever from sleeping. And so I was like, I'll just get up in the morning and do it. And I woke up without the alarm and it was so great. And just like even things like that, like waking up happy without an alarm. When you set the intention to like get up earlier than you normally do, could be something really great. Or yesterday we went paddleboarding with some friends because I live in a lake community, and I'm able to bring friends to our community lake. And so like it's like a semi-private lake. Well, it is a private lake. You have to be a member to go there. And so it's like one of those things that I'm like, I'm so grateful that I chose to live here, because that was a very conscious choice to be able to bring friends to the lake on a beautiful day after work. And I'm like, it feels like you're on vacation on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. when really I have to get up and work in the morning. But like you just get this like little glimpse of like summer vacation, even though it's a random Tuesday and I still have to work tomorrow. But like just like being on the water just like calms your whole nervous system and just like falling in love with those pieces of your life. And I could have focused on how much stress I have trying to get everything done before the end of the school year and being like stressed that the kids are starting to be like a little crazy and starting to like get frustrated with each other and not want to do any schoolwork because they're already in summer vacation mode. But I chose to just be like, I'm totally grateful that I live here and that I get to spend a Tuesday night out on the water and that I have 3 friends that want to come enjoy the lake with me, that my daughter's out with friends having a great time and just playing, right? So like all of those things are just amazing pieces of my life. Or I could have chose to be like, I'm super stressed and I'm gonna just like power through starting report cards and writing all of the individualized program plans that I have to do, and I choose not to focus on those things and choose to focus on the really great things. And so I think like falling in love with your life is really just beginning to consciously notice those things that are really great. And I know that no matter what stage you're at, there are things that you could fall in love with your life with or be grateful for. What do you think, Nomza? What are things like even in just like your most recent day that you're like, I love these aspects of my life, right? Because there's always that yin and yang. Like there's like, I love these aspects of my life. I don't love this aspect so much, but like I get to focus on the more positive aspects of my life. Like right now, I'm like, my cat keeps getting into one of my plants and I just have like this like dirt around the plant and I'm like, I need to really clean that before my cousin comes this weekend. And just like those things where I'm like, I just wish I had a cleaner. That would be so much better. That would make my life so much better. Maybe I need to hire one again.
Yeah, I can have those. I like cleaning my own home. When it's cheated, I like to know that it's me who cheated with the cleaning. So yeah, I like to clean my own home. Yeah, I like the aspect of my life, like having to really watch my children and becoming who they want to become, and just looking back and just looking at the hard work that we as parents have done for themselves, and also me having to keep my identity as well, because it's not easy. I know there's lots of parents who have given up who they are, wanting to, thinking that it is the right thing to do, but they become miserable. But for me, it's just being able to be a mother and being able to do the work that I do. So I'm so grateful for that part, that I'm able to be the woman that I want to be. Is it easy? It's not easy to actually, I think responsibilities, me, I stopped piling responsibilities on me. And I also stopped condemning myself. I just let my day goes as God planned. And if things don't go my way, that's okay. So that those are the things that I'm really, really grateful, like being here to Ngozi Talk Show with you, Amanda, and having to watch that cat doing whatever it wants today. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just those little things that we take for granted.
Yeah, right. Like even we just take for granted having like I just got this kitten in January and she's brought so much joy into our life, and even she's brought joy to you, right?
Yeah,
Watching her be silly. Or I did show you that I think one day before the show, I showed you her like literally curled up inside my plant. Like it's ridiculous. But like those are the things that we forget to just like be in love with our life over. Like I'm just absolutely love our kitten, and that's something that I can always like focus on each day, like even when she's being a little nutty. But I was thinking too, like we sometimes also get bogged down like with like the things that we have to do, which are like cleaning your house or like we're doing yard work. I know right now my house has been a little neglected because it's spring, and I've been very much focused on doing my gardening and getting my yard ready and mowing the lawn and fertilizing the lawn and getting rid of the weeds and pressure washing the deck and all of those things. And I'm like, and on Sunday, I like worked my butt off doing those things. And for the last 2 weekends, but I'm like, I own my own home. And I like yard work is actually like in some ways a gift, right? Because it's like if I didn't own my home, I wouldn't have that job to do. And so like it's not that I have to do yard work. It's like I get to do the yard work because I own my home and I really love my yard and I really love my garden. And it's even though it's a lot of work, it's one of the things that I really, really enjoy. And so it's like a lot of work just in the spring, right? So I neglect my housework for a week or two and I really focus on this is why I was thinking I need to hire somebody just to like help out a little bit because I've been spending my whole weekends outside getting like gardening, right? One weekend was like doing all of the leaves. The next weekend was the weeding and the mowing the lawn and digging up all of the weeds. And then the next weekend was planting and pressure washing and fixing a couple things on my barbecue so that it's like a brand new barbecue again, right? Like all of those things are like I could be like, oh, I have so much work to do. Or it could be like I get to make my yard beautiful because I own my house, right? And like even though it's a lot of work, I once it's all done, I really get to enjoy it all summer long, right? And so that's like I just love my yard. Even though it's not a huge yard, it's like it's the perfect size for me and my daughter because we have a trampoline and we have a garden and we have a deck and not that it's a huge space, but it's enough space for us. And then we're lucky enough to live in a lake community that the more outside time is spent at the lake and I'm not spending all of my time making sure that my yard is done because I'm just a single mom and I don't have that much time to use to take care of a huge yard. But I think like some of those things where we can view it as like I have all this work to do or like I get to take care of the space because I own it and I love it and it's my space. And it's like I'm really proud of how far I've come and I'm proud of the space that I've created for me and her. And so that's like even just falling in love with those aspects of your life, right? If and like I could be hyper focused on like wanting to find a relationship or being like, why can't I find my person, or I could just be like, I'm gonna just fall in love with my life and my person will show up at the right time, right? Which is what I believe in divine timing. You believe, I know Noam said you believe in God and a specific religion, but I don't believe in those things. But I do believe in like divine timing and like the higher spirit and all of those things, and just really our souls are here to learn something.
Why
And
why don't you really believe in God? Because the Holy Spirit and
I
God
do
is the
believe in
same.
in something. I just don't like to call it one specific religion. I don't believe in any religion is correct because and I just believe that like because they all I just believe that a specific religion like they they clash with each other, right?
Me,
And so
I don't believe because God is not religious. I don't believe in religion, but I believe in the Holy Spirit and
yeah,
I believe in God because I have experienced it. I have that encounter. So I don't really believe in religious because people create their own stories,
yeah,
but I believe that we are one
yeah,
because that's what God made me realize that we are all one. The Holy Spirit is one. Everybody else make up their own thing. If you listen to what's his name, he says people they are following Magandi, who and that one, mostly the Indian gods. But
Mhm.
he says they've never asked them to do that. He said they existed, but they've never asked people to follow them, but to worship, to follow specific them, but people decided to do that. So for me, God is not religious.
Mhm.
He's just a one God that
Mhm.
says, "Come as you are with the whoever you believe, whatever your beliefs." It says, "Come to me as you are. I'll take away the pain." But
Mhm.
for me, I don't have authority to come to somebody and create my own stories and say, "Oh, if you don't do this, God is not gonna do this." But all I know is God says, "Come to Him as you are."
Yeah.
So having said that, thinking about God and everything, what you were saying, that you follow, you believe in divine and not focusing on love, is something that I was thinking about it yesterday. Because Carol Ann sent me this thing, the video, that woman that does mathematics with financial breakthrough, help with financial breakthrough. So
Mhm.
I hadn't thought about it, the same thing you're saying. I was like, okay, we focus on one thing.
Mhm.
Like when we want to find love, we get obsessed with the want to find love. But where is this, like, if God is a thing that hasn't got a face, hasn't got it's just an energy that flows through, what kind of way just go in and ask, oh, instead of focusing on like divine, like you were saying, because divine is Christianity, and just say, just like it, believe in divine, that God can give anything that you desire in life, instead of us, like you have Ellen, focusing on, I just want love, I just want this. Of course, these are the things that we desire, people desire, everybody knows that we desire this. But what if we go and open this thing where we say, God, you know my want, you know my desires, like you, and I just believe that when time is right, you will bless me. Because like is love, you can find it on the road. Someone can just stop you, or maybe you can be driving in the petrol station and somebody just stops and say, by the way, I'm lost, or Amanda, are you married? And you'll be like, no, I'm not married. They'll be like, let's go on date then. And then you'll be like, okay, sure. And then it becomes like, and that person, it becomes the wonderful person in your life. And you look back and you'll be like, yeah, I'm so glad that I actually waited these years. So for me, that's what I believe anyway. I don't believe in religious things that people they put and stuff. But if you listen to most of pastors that are truth, they will tell you that religion becomes a culture where people make rules, but God is not a culture. So yeah, and it also comes back to the topic. I like it when we like finding when we find that beauty in our everyday life, like Amanda, when you were talking about the yard, I wanted to go to your yard because when you are describing it is something that is so important to you, something that you love, like it's not, it's like it's it's not big, but it's just perfect for you and your daughter. So I love that when someone like appreciate their everyday, find something beautiful in their lives. I like that because people think it's about small or whatsoever. It's about consistent wonders as well. So we have to notice the golden light through our windows. Strangers when they are smiling, walking, a fresh cup of tea, like Amanda is having a cup of tea, practice mindfulness and truly see and feel our lives are happening in real time, in our everyday time, and just enjoy life. I think that is really, really important, and turn the mandate into magic through a present moment. For me, I just love that. Just enjoying. I used to think life is about doing, doing, but I'm realizing it's all about just having the moment. We were doing maple dance the other day, and one of the parents was saying to Kayla's friend, "Why didn't you join?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't want it, but I think next year I'm gonna do it." So I was laughing and saying, for me, my children, when it comes to community, they need to get involved because it's their community. So I teach them to get involved so they can't complain. Even if voting, I take them with the day of voting. When we are voting, I take them with me and I say vote because they need to have a voice. So I'm teaching them later on in life that this is our everyday life. We can't complain if you don't do anything. If you don't like the prime minister, go become one. So that's what I'm teaching my children.
Well, right, like that's exactly it, is that you want to like have your eyes open to
Yeah,
all possibilities, and that really and to be open to it. Like you never know when an opportunity is going to show up, right? Especially if you are out there just really putting yourself out there to attract exactly what it is that you're hoping for. And if you don't like what's going on, then become that change. And I think that's something that's really important too, is to see a need, right? And then go and shift it where you can. And even any small acts can shift things. Actually, I wrote this book, I forget which one it is, what it's called, but anyways, the like premise of it is essentially that we want to teach kids that they can make a positive impact even just starting in their school, right? And so when we look at things, it's like I want kids to understand that they can make a positive impact on their lives no matter what they're doing. And it can start as simply like sometimes we're like, kids don't believe that they can change the world. And in fact, they actually can. And it can start by just changing things within their own school. And shifting things in our own school can literally just like shift everything for all of the people around you. And then that can like spiral into something much bigger later on. And I think sometimes we think like kids are just little, and oh, it's my book was called A Better Tomorrow Starts Today. Like I can't even remember what my book is called. It's called A Better Tomorrow Starts Today, and it's like talks about when we look at the past, how like you could get really caught up in like all the travesties that have happened in the past. And that's actually one of the reasons why I don't believe in a specific religion, is because I've looked at all of the clashes over time of different religions, like really like fighting each other and being like, I'm right. And I'm like, I don't know that anybody's right. I'm just gonna like focus on me and try to like love everybody for who they are, and allow them to believe whatever it is that they want to believe, right? And so when we focus on creating a better tomorrow, it's really about like starting with ourselves, and how can we serve others and serve, and at the same time serve ourselves. And one of the things when I listen to people who are really successful, it talks about like acts of service, and how can you, when you can serve others, you're really like making the world a better place. And like children even can like serve each other by just even like going and sitting down and talking to a friend on the playground, that or a person on the playground that doesn't have anybody to play with, right? So just these little acts of kindness go a really long way, and you never know how those little acts of kindness are going to affect somebody else, right? And how it's going to make them feel. And so even like, for example, yesterday there was a student who didn't have a partner in gym, and so I just was like, oh, like, what's going on? Because they were like sad, and they're like, I just don't have a partner. I was like, oh, like, I can help you join a group, or you can just like play frisbee with me. And they were like, I'll just play frisbee with you, right? And so then they're just not like sitting out by themselves, and whether that act of kindness went like a long way, or I could have just sat there drinking my tea and watching them in gym, because I'm not the gym teacher. I'm just there to like help because there's two classes together, right? Or I could go and interact with the kid that's like obviously upset about something. And so it's just like those little tiny acts of kindness that we do along the way, or even just like reaching out to, I already had plans to paddle with another friend, and then a different friend messaged me about something else. And so I was like, hey, we're going paddleboarding tonight if you want to join us. And then she ended up joining us too. And another friend ended up joining us. So there was like three of us. We just probably like made each other's night, right? By just being like, hey, we're going, do you want to come? And it's just so nice to like go out and float and be on the water, and just like inviting somebody else along can really just make their day, probably, especially if they're going through a rough time, like just like taking that extra moment to be like, oh, so and so's having a rough week, maybe I should invite them over for a tea. That might just completely make their week, right? And when you can serve others in that way, it actually helps you like fall in love with your own life by being able to like give, right? When we can give, we also receive. And I think that's something that sometimes we forget in our super capitalistic world, is that it's sometimes it's better, well, lots of the times it's better to just give. Like the more that you get, the more that you can give, and then we have more opportunity to share our knowledge and our wealth and everything with others to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I love that, Amanda, when you say teach kids to actually to make a positive impacts in the world, because I think that is important, because our children are the future. So
Mhm.
it's really, really important to create a great impact to the future. And I like your title for the book, Start a Better Tomorrow. Amazing. Which it goes with the topic as well. Starting a better tomorrow, it starts with you enjoying your life. Like you say, you have your own reason that you don't believe in religion where everyone thinks I'm right, I'm this. In my church, they tell you one thing, my pastor always say, do not listen to what I say, but go to the Bible yourself and read and connect with God yourself. Don't depend on me. Don't listen like completely like be dependent on me. If it's all about God, why would people say what I'm saying is right, what they are saying is wrong? For me, it's just all about reading the Bible and what does the Bible say. Even Tony Robbins say, what's his name? He helped him to actually memorize the Bible. Uh, and because the Bible is life, whatever is written in the Bible is life. He helped him to actually become the person that he is today. But Jim Rohn just helped him to say, listen, this is the future. This is life. This is the future. So sit down and memorize this thing. If you memorize this thing, connected to this thing, this God, and he did. So for me, that's what I believe, that this is our tomorrow, this is our today. So if anyone was to come to tell me and say this, but the only thing I believe that I can tell people that anyone that has created other gods, when it comes to Jesus, he gets angry. There is no heaven when it comes to that one. He has no mercy because I have experienced it myself. So, but creating your better tomorrow and really creating your life, and enjoying it, embracing it, and having that peace is unapologetic, becoming who you are meant to become. Because there are some people who want to become something, but then they worry about people a lot. But you cannot be like Amanda, you said religious people, that some of them they fight my points. I've experienced myself that people do that. But then you have in the community as well, where people will have the ideas of how life you should live your life and stuff. And people become so miserable because they can't be who they want to be. Like you have your daughter, you feel like, is it necessary for me to rush and find love? No, I'm gonna raise my daughter. If loves find me, I'm okay with it. But there are some families who are not okay with that. They'll be pushing you and pushing you, making you miserable. Even friends making you miserable. So I like people that take a stand and say, this is my life. This is how I'm going to live it. As long as it does not affect anybody. And to me, I just feel that is authentic. Truly, truly authentic. I don't know. What do you think, Amanda?
I think that's like what you said about letting, sorry, my allergies are acting up. Just it's like the mornings sometimes they get really bad. And it's
Is it the
funny.
cat or you're just
Oh,
allergic to?
I'm allergic to like springtime.
You're allergic to springtime. My
Pollen and
friend Asanya, what is the allergic? Is it the garden or something? The grass?
yeah, I'm allergic to grass and like pollens and stuff and ragweed and a couple of things.
Really?
But sometimes like there's like a little bit of time in the morning where it's just like I sneeze and I sneeze and I sneeze. My allergies have actually gotten a lot better over the years. And a lot of it has to do with like really watching what I eat and eating as healthy and clean as possible. And then also just getting like regular exercise and making sure that I don't have as any allergens around me in my house. But because I used to be like really bad, but no, they just sometimes I just go through little sneeze attacks now. Um, I like what you were saying about like not judging other people for their lives because one, you don't know what they've been through, no matter what, right? And like you were saying, Nomza, that you've experienced people in a more religious community that really are trying to tell people how to live their lives, and I don't believe in that at all. I believe you get to choose how you want to live and how you want to show up and how um what type of relationships you want to have. And even even within my friendships, like sometimes I joke because we have such different views on things and I laugh and I'm like, I don't even know how we're friends. But I love you. I'm like, we just live in completely different worlds when it comes to like this aspect, and that's totally okay. But I love hiking with you, I love skiing with you, I love all of these things, but like our views on like relationship are like completely opposite, right? On like the type of relationship that we want. Like they're very into like open type of relationships, and I'm like, that's not for me. It can be for you, and that's completely okay. And I understand why it would work for some people. It just doesn't work for me. And I think that's completely okay, but I would never like judge them for that and say like, oh, that's not right. You have to want this type of relationship. I'm like, no, if that works for you, like all the power to you. It just doesn't work for me, and I know myself well enough to know that something like that would never work for me, right? And I think that that's one of the things that you come to a realization in is really like that non-judgmental space of like let things just be, right? And to fall in love with your life is really about like learning to just like let other people do what they want to do and just focus on like what it is that you can do to like really focus on being the best version of yourself and becoming unapologetically yourself, right? It's as long as it's not hurting anybody else. Right? And so when you can live unapologetically yourself from this, you really do fall in love with your own life, and when you can find joy. I know one of my friends, one of the things she had said that she was struggling with at one point was like forgetting to like find joy, right? And then we went and did this retreat. And then after the retreat, I was like, has anything shifted for you? And she's like, I forgot to find joy. And it's like brought joy back into my life with just like having that retreat experience. And so I think sometimes when we get into the busyness of life, we forget those things, like those simple things of just like finding joy each day. Right? And like you found joy just watching my cat climb on top of the bench at my table, right? Just like finding those little joyful moments in each part of the day. And even like I'm an elementary school teacher and I try to find joy every single day in the classroom of like even just something silly somebody says or like something silly I do or um we like there's so many different ways that we can find joy. And I think people get bogged down by their jobs and the stress of their jobs and they forget to sometimes just laugh at yourself. Right? Like it's okay to just laugh at yourself and be like, well, I'll try again better next time. And recognize too when it is time to like ask for help from somebody else. So I think sometimes we try to do everything by ourselves, and when we actually are like, no, I need to ask for some support in this area, it gives other people opportunity to give. And I'm one of those people that often will just like try to do everything myself, and then I'm like I get to a point where I can't do it myself, and so like I had to borrow a pressure washer. And just having my friend bring over the pressure washer and then show me how to use it and all of those things, like it brought me joy to be like, yes, I can learn how to use this and I can do it. But also like it gave them an opportunity to give, which is, I think sometimes we forget that other people want to like help too, right? And it fulfills them when you're grateful to them for like going out of their way to help you. And I was super grateful that they went out of their way to help me. Right? So sometimes we just fall madly in love with our lives by like the connections that we have with other people. And we often think that you'll fall in love with your life when you like have the big house and the fancy car and all of those things, but really you can fall in love with your life by the simple joys and also by like the connections that you have with really genuine, kind, caring people. So yeah, I don't know what you think about that. Like, do you think about how often you really connect with your life on like the connections that you have with others? Because I think that's really important. While you start talking, I'm just gonna go grab a Kleenex for my nose.
Yeah, I think I like what Amanda said, guys. Like she's saying, she's got friends. Sometimes she wonders. She's got friends, and what she's saying is she lets her friends be. She doesn't tell them what to do, what not to do. I do that with my friends as well. I embrace the people that are in my life because I know that God put them for a reason there. So I embrace that their presence is important to me. So it's really, really embracing those moments, learning to embrace instead of wanting things to be perfect and letting go of perfection as well. That's what I have. Like Amanda mentioned, be the best version of yourself. I think being the best version of yourself is really like what she said, the unapologetic living authentic our life. Sometimes people may not agree with that life, but it is okay for you It's okay to live that life, and also knowing that um, embracing the mess in your life, the flaws and the becoming. That is really, really important. The becoming is what I came out. I took yesterday of our talk, that I need to embrace the person that I am becoming, knowing that my life, it does not need to be perfect to be beautiful. Just each and every day and looking at it and just being happy, reframing failures as feedback and progress as success. To me, those are really, really, really important things in my life. There were times where for me, people have judged me so many ways, but I'm okay with that. Uh, when people were judging me, it was when I was like finding my true self and authentically designing my life the way it's supposed to be. Because when you find the best version of yourself, and you say, yeah, you can go outside, Kingdom. And sorry, that's my daughter. She's asking to go out. And really unapologetic in designing the life that you want, not what people expect. Because people can say, I know Nomsa, but to me, I can't say I know Amanda. But there's only thing that I can say, Gadi, surprise me with the best version of Amanda, because I wanted to see the best in people. And when that best version comes out, I got to celebrate it, Amanda. I got to be really get excited with what she's becoming, what she's going to be tomorrow, not me questioning her. Are you sure Amanda is what? No, I got to celebrate. That's my attitude anyway, that I got to really this becoming person, what they're becoming, I have to celebrate it, because when you celebrate someone, you bring out the best in them, and even God is happy. You don't want God to say, you know what, you're going to hell because you are the reason that person lost their confidence because of you. So for me, it's just all about celebrating the becoming of a person and really bring out the best in them. What do you think, Amanda?
I think you're right. It's just like learning how to celebrate the best in yourself and the best in others and the best in what's going on around you. And I know that there's things in life sometimes that are really, really hard, and it's not about like ignoring those and not like processing them. You definitely need to process, and it's okay to be completely sad and stressed out and and at times, but it's also okay to like be like, okay, I can't change that. I need to let go and learn how to process that, not just shove it down and and pretend it doesn't exist, is learning how to properly process that, which you can do with a counselor, with a psychologist or something. But when we really want to fall in love with our lives, it's about a shifting perspective, right? And noticing the joy and noticing the good things and really being grateful for the house that you have to clean, the yard that you get to tidy up, right? It's not like extra work. It's like I'm proud of myself for the
Yes.
space that I created and and keep working towards those things. And I think that's something that we just need to remember is sometimes we get bogged down by all of like your giant to-do list, but it's like, what if you could be like, I get to do these things because I've created this wonderful life for myself.
Yeah, and really enjoy that life and not worrying about what people think. Just embracing it and enjoy. I've seen it with my children as well. I've taught them to be themselves, not to pretend to be something that they're not. So, and they love it. So I think it's really, really important to embrace that person that you're becoming and live your life the way we were all created by our Creator to be here, to serve, to have a purpose. And that purpose does not, I don't know Amanda's purpose because her purpose is within her. So when she unleash who she is, me, I just enjoy it. No criticize, because if I'm criticizing, I'm shutting her down. So I don't have that authority. The authority that I have is to celebrate her. So to me, that is really, really important. That's what I leave you with, actually, guys.
That's a
Celebrate my friends. So yeah, you finish, Amanda?
Yep.
Yeah, guys, you can go to our website is www.hseia.coach and sign up. If you're looking for love coaching, you can go to a different page as well and sign up. And we've got two groups, a Unique Billionaire Mindset and Gossip Talk Shows, where you can join the groups and be part of the family. Two pages as well, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and Gossip Talk Shows, just like our page, and be part of us. If you want to follow Amanda, please do follow her on her page or in her personal page. And if you want to message her on social media, you can too. If you can't get hold of her, you can message me. I look at my messages every hour. So I get back to you and contact her. She'll get back to me when she's ready. God bless everyone. Live with grace, and I shall be with you too.